Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm joined by Georgia, a first year engineer here at Cambridge. Today we'll be going through engineering and what it's been like having started engineering recently.
Yeah.
Now, Georgia, you're a first year?
Yeah, I'm a fresher.
And
engineering.
I'm a third year fresher technically. I'm new to engineering as well. So hopefully we'll be sharing with you our experiences so far and what it's like going into the 5th week of our first years studying engineering. So Georgia, very quickly, tell us about yourself and about your channel. Who are you? Where are you from? Which college are you at?
I am Georgia. I'm from King's. I am originally from Winchester, Southampton area, and I basically chose to study engineering because I liked physics and maths, and it was kind of what I was good at, so it just kind of made sense. And also I got really into sustainability and stuff, so that's why I'm where I am now.
Okay.
And my channel is it's going to be more vlogs, but also kind of informational videos. I want to do Q&As and that kind of thing, so
yeah, that's quite nice actually.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what the life of a first year engineer is like, go and subscribe to Georgia.
Yeah.
I think my channel's a bit different, isn't it? It's been medicine so far, and it's going to slightly shift to engineering.
For a year.
No, but yeah, a year or two, then I'll switch back to medicine for the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much once again for joining me today. It's fantastic having you on the channel. And yeah, let's get going. So in today's video, we're going to go through a variety of different topics. Not only talking about why we're studying engineering, but also what our experiences are like studying engineering here at Cambridge. Obviously, it's not easy studying here.
I have definitely done that.
So we're going to definitely try and reason as to why we chose Cambridge, especially you, because you actually applied here for engineering. But I think you will find this video very useful. So firstly, I think we should talk about why engineering.
Yes.
So you're the guest on the channel, please tell us why.
So I initially chose engineering, right back at the beginning, was just because I was I'm good at physics and maths, but I don't want to do pure physics or pure maths because I thought I would just get a bit bored by that because it wasn't very applied.
Yeah.
So that was my original thoughts, and then I kind of investigated a bit more, and I found out the applications of engineering in climate change and sustainability, and that's definitely the route I would want to go down. So that's kind of what got me more passionate about it, I think. And then I kind of wanted to do it at Cambridge because it's got this really broad course that I think we're going to go on to talk about later. But that was my own personal reasons, I think.
Did you do any work experience maybe to influence your decisions or?
So I went to a Head Start course at Loughborough University, and it was a week-long thing there, and you just did projects, team projects.
Wow.
You did practice lectures and stuff.
Sounds
and
really
it was really cool. It was really fun, and I met a lot of really fun people. But it did make me realize engineering was definitely something I wanted to do. I then did an 8-month internship in my gap year.
Okay, fine. Wow.
So yeah, I did the work experience, and I was in research and development, so that's kind of just fine-tuning specific products, and it actually made me really dislike research and development.
Oh really? Wow. Okay. So you're not going to get into that.
Yeah. So it still I could see how the whole company was run, and I could see other stuff, so it still made me want to be in that environment in general, but I don't think I'm made for research and development.
Fair enough.
It was just very slow paced.
So yeah, about my reasons as to why I switched from medicine to engineering. From a young age, I was always interested in drawing and designing stuff, and so when the opportunity came to switch to engineering, I thought, I do have a slight interest in this, although it is very different to medicine. I just felt like it will help me and teach me a few skills that I might find useful later on in my career. So engineering, it teaches you, yes, how to design something, how to sort of think of concepts from the ground up, which I think is very relevant to MedTech, which again, I'm thinking about going into. But then again, I think engineering also gives you lots of mathematical skills.
Yeah.
And
I think it's really broad.
It's really broad.
You can apply it almost to any degree that you want to do. I think it's a really useful to do just a year of engineering. I think everyone could benefit from that, to be honest. You from our course, you can come out you can be a software developer, just creating software. You can be someone building bridges or creating parts of
or the next
bodies
spaceship, whatever. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's so broad. I don't think you can really go wrong choosing engineering.
Yeah.
Unless you're not mathematical, technical.
It's very mathematical.
Yeah, it's very mathematical. But if you're into that kind of sciencey stuff, you really can't go wrong. There's a different facet of engineering for everyone, I think.
That's a good point. Exactly, again, why I wanted to do engineering. So I've also got interest in property development, and so, gaining the math skills with, to do with engineering are quite useful, because then I can actually work out how, I don't know, cross beams are meant to be like structured, or what sort of structure design you need. Because like, let's say, I don't know, as most people do, one day you want to design your own house. If you have like a background in engineering, it's a normal thing. But if you have this like slight like background in engineering, when you do go to an architect, you can have like just more ideas and like more feasible
and you understand
ideas.
They can talk to you more technically.
Exactly.
Like what we've been told in our degree is they're kind of like, even if you knew you wanted to be an electrical engineer from the start, but you have to do all the civil and all the computing and stuff. Like at least when you're in a company, like no one works in a company just in electrical. Like you'll always be in like a project with loads of other different types of engineers.
And so you learn so much from other people as well.
Yes, so like if you have a slight background in all the other types, it's going to make you such a more effective member of the team, because you understand more what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think
it is useful.
Yeah, I think it's really useful.
Also, one last reason actually, so related to your point. So in medicine actually, there are very few clinicians who have a background in engineering, and especially today when we're innovating so quickly, we need people who can bridge the gap between engineers and medics. And so my idea was that I can sort of help fill that niche, being able to translate, very doctory language to stuff that engineers can understand. But then also do the opposite, because then I guess that will really help, increase innovation or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I've still yet to work out what exactly I want to do within that. Last but not least, I think engineering, some modules like business modules, they really teach you how to run a business. And today you really need to be good with money. You need to know how you can design your own business. So again, useful skills. So when you do engineering, you don't just learn one thing, I think. You learn a huge variety of different things. Yeah.
No, I would agree. Like at Cambridge, they have specific modules for like if you want to learn a language, that's like part of your degree, and you can choose that as part of the.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like you can also do things in like business and stuff like that. So it's just so broad.
Brilliant. So hopefully that sort of gives you an insight as to why we want to do engineering. So go sit down, do a few, brainstorm a bit, and maybe write out a few mind maps as to why you want to study engineering. So I think moving on next, it might be quite wise to talk about challenges that we might face, but also have faced so far studying engineering, because it is a very intense field to go into.
Definitely.
So what
especially where we are.
Yeah. Cambridge again doesn't make it easy for you.
I think you have to like get used to the fact that like your like natural like state of being is just like working, and anything that isn't working is something you specifically like timetabled into your life. Like you have to just accept, like if you've got like, oh, I've got nothing on this afternoon, that means you're going to be sat working. Like
it can't be an afternoon where you can just sort of think, oh, I've got nothing, I've got no lectures.
I'll
I
watch
can
some
just
Netflix or something. That doesn't happen.
Even for Netflix, it's like, are you eating? Yes, no. Or are you at the end of a week? Yes, no. Those are the situations where you can find time. But you can't just sort of
it's like, and it takes a bit of getting used to, I think, to realise like all my spare time is working. But then, if you're here, I think they've recognised you as someone who's passionate about your subject, so you're not going to and so you're not really going to dislike that.
Exactly.
Hopefully, you're not going to hate it.
I agree with your challenge though, of having to actually realise that you're here for work, and
Yeah.
Playtime is it's very.
I think like going to Cambridge obviously is an incredible thing, and like I think everyone, if you get a place, you should definitely do it because it's incredible. But at the same time, I think it is a sacrifice. You have to recognise you are going to sacrifice a lot of your free time because you are here to work more than.
I think you do still have social time though, so don't get scared that like you're not going to see any people, that you're not going to have fun. You do have an immense amount of fun.
Yeah.
But then the core aspect of being here is academic. You're here because you've got a bright brain, and if you didn't have a bright brain, then you wouldn't be here. That's simply how it works.
Like a prime example is my day, to be honest. I got up, went to 3 lectures in a row, worked in the library the whole of the rest of the day, and then I ran here to film this video. I've got to run to a formal hall next, and then I've got to run to a hockey.
Everything's running
out.
Here. That's or cycling as well.
So I've got my bike. But obviously I've been working so hard today, but also it's not like I'm now gonna go home and cry about it.
No, because you're happy about it, and then also you relax, and then tomorrow it's like you do it again.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, exactly. Work hard, play hard. But also, I think a challenge that I faced, that I still face now actually, is the way you study in engineering is very different to medicine. So for medicine, it's all about just learning stuff and understanding, and then sort of just writing an essay about it or answering a few MCQs. Whereas in engineering, the maths is it's complicated, but then also you need to understand it to a very deep level for you to apply it later onto a hard question. It really takes you back to the old physics and maths days at A level. Again, 10 times harder. No, maybe not 10 times harder. Maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 times harder. Don't want to scare you guys.
Engineering compared to pretty much everyone I've talked to about their own subjects, like people doing like modern languages or classics or whatever, engineering's way more structured than theirs are. Like they'll have like 5 lectures a week, and then the rest of the time they're like choosing what they're going to read, choosing what they're going to write their essays about, like just sat on their own.
So compared to humanities, I'd say the sciences are like a lot more structured.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
one thing, definitely. Yeah,
and I quite like that because you have a timetable you have to stick
it's like
to.
School, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like school. Like, and like we have about 2 lectures every day, and you know that in the morning you'll go to your lectures, and in the afternoon you'll just do all the example papers.
And you can really structure your time as well.
Yeah.
So you can like sort of allocate time for sport, allocate time to see friends as you're at school. Whereas in humanities, you just, like you said, have 1 lecture per day.
Yeah.
Then the rest of the day, you've got reading to do. I don't know, you need to find time to socialise, but eat, and I guess just all, I don't know. For me, I like structure. And
yeah, so do I. Yeah. I think that's kind of like the engineer in us, probably.
Could you maybe give our viewers some methods or techniques that they can use to keep organised, and to keep organised and then keep on top of work?
So for me, the way I keep organised is I have like the most like in-depth diary ever. Like obviously I put all my lectures and all my supervisions and stuff in it, and then I'll also like timetable in how many hours I'm going to spend on one subject and then another subject.
Wow.
And like because it's like the only way that I can like keep myself on the ball. Otherwise I'll just like
slip and
I'll start chatting to someone, and then like I'll be there chatting to them for like 2 hours, and I'll realise.
Especially here in Cambridge, like if you start talking to a friend, you just
and
time
you bump
flies.
into people in the colleges. You bump into people all the time, and like for our college, you have to walk through the bar to get to your room.
Oh no, okay, so you
And
see
there's always
everyone.
someone you know there. So if you know, like if I don't between 2 and 4 finish this example paper, I haven't got any time to do it now between like my supervision, then you will actually do it because you have it written in your diary.
It's like, again, it's all discipline. So timetables are a very good way of doing things. Also checklists, as I've mentioned before. Make sure write down what you're going to do. Even with goals and dreams in life, they always say you have to write things down, because that's the first step of actualizing that dream or goal of working harder. So keeping diaries at the next level of taking that to actually putting it into action and making sure you complete it.
And keeping yourself productive like every day is so useful. Like, because sometimes it's so easy to just like on a Saturday you're like exhausted, and then you're just like, I'm just gonna like do nothing today, and then you really regret that the next day. Because
then you think, if only I'd done at least 2 hours of work of just some sort of questions, I could be finding this easier.
And also I find like to keep like my personal thing is not working in my room, because if I'm in the library, there's like I can't just like get into bed and
that's
just, like,
the worst
take a
thing.
nap or
You're
something.
in your room, your bed's all nicely made, and you're like, I could just curl up in there and like have a good nap.
And then you're on your computer and you're like, Netflix is just one click away, and then it's a slippery slope. So like I always like, if I have some work to do, I'll always go to the library, and then you're there with other people who are working, which I think really helps. Because if you're in your room, you're kind of like, this is so depressing, like people probably hanging out right now.
But in fact, everyone else is working.
If you go in the library at like 11 p.m. and you realise everyone else is there too.
That's when you realise people work. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
don't see people working. You're like you said, they're hanging out. But no, we go to the library, everyone's working their asses off, and you're like, okay, fine, this is what people are actually doing. This is what I should be doing.
And it's a bit like motivating.
So since today is meant to be quite informative about the actual engineering courses here at Cambridge, when it comes to first year, could you tell us more about how your day is actually structured, as well as lectures? What else do you get up to try and learn the material?
So roughly, there's like 2 lectures every morning is like kind of standard, and then in the afternoons you have a slot for labs, and usually you'll have like two roughly of your afternoons per week will be labs, and that's kind of doing like some kind of experiment, and once every term you'll have to write up that experiment in a really long lab report. So that's one of your big courseworks. Then you've also got supervisions, so there's 4 different topics we have lectures in: mechanics, structures, maths, and
I don't know if that's just I can't help you with this one.
oh no. Hang on, I need to think of this. Mechanics, structures,
electrical?
maths. Yeah, and electronics. And you have a supervision on one of those every 2 weeks. So like you roughly have 2 supervisions a week as well.
Okay.
And they're just with like fellows inside your college, and you just sit with them for an hour, and like in our supervisions we basically just go through the example papers that you get given after like every 2 lectures in each topic. You'll get given an example paper that you've got to work through, and you take it to your supervisor if there's any questions you don't understand, or there's just like something that happened in the lecture that you didn't understand. So that's what happens in the supervisions. And then in first year, on our first term in first year, we also have coursework, and we've got to teach ourselves how to use CAD, and make a whole project on CAD.
CAD is pretty cool. It's like
CAD is
3D
very
designing
cool. It's
software.
actually really like interesting, and it's really like satisfying when you like get it all right.
There's also MATLAB, isn't there? Have you used MATLAB yet?
I think we're going to do that next
I don't
year.
like MATLAB. It's like Python, but I don't
I've
even
got
know
that to
Python
look
yet.
forward to. Yeah, so that's the third bit of course what we have to do is Python.
Okay.
We have to teach ourselves Python, and then just do like loads and loads of tasks and little mini projects in Python, which are actually
Have you learned Pig Latin yet in Python? No.
Maybe.
It's like we add like the first few letters of the word go to the back.
Oh, yeah, I think I have done
I was on Code Academy doing that. It was pretty.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty slow.
Everyone does Code Academy because like the way they try and teach you it is so hard. Everyone just like reverts to Code
And
Academy.
recently at Code Academy, they were like, to do the extra tasks, you have to go pro. And I was like, well, I don't want to pay. I want to do it for free. So eventually I was like forced into paying to try and learn more.
Yeah. But there's also one more bit of coursework
Okay.
that we have to do, and it's all about communication. So you have to do a presentation 1 week on an article that you research and look up, and it's a big PowerPoint presentation. You have to do written pieces of work. You have to do a debate.
Yeah, wow.
So it's all about like.
And
being
what's the point of that though? What does it help with, do you think?
Because engineers, like, we're sort of scientists and we have to present our results. So you have to do presentations at like conferences or to colleagues or whatever, and you're going to have to put up like lab reports that are going to have to be like in good English with good grammar, easy to understand.
Exactly, easy to understand, right? Because any other engineer should be able to work out the idea that you've tried to sort of explain in that lab report.
And you have to learn things like referencing and like all that kind of stuff.
I hate referencing.
Yeah. I'm not sure why we do the debating exactly.
I don't know.
To be honest, we haven't
To
really
make
got
savvy
that's
engineers.
the end of the term, so I can let you know later.
In terms of career plans, so you mentioned sustainability.
Yes.
That sort of stuff. What do you want to go into?
So, like, I haven't thought too in depth about it, to be honest, because I've just got to university. But I definitely want to do something in like sustainability and stuff. I think I would just find that really rewarding and interesting. I don't think I would get bored.
When you say sustainability, what do you mean by sustainability? Like what sort of building projects in like developing countries or in the developed world looking for more?
I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that can be done in like developing countries like Africa, because they don't have like big networks and established systems of sort of energy and stuff like that. I think there's a lot that because it's like a fresh slate. So like with all the sort of new energy
technology and all
things that are coming up, and like with solar power and wind power and stuff, I think it's really interesting how that's all getting implemented in places like Africa. Like there's a lot of solar projects that are happening there at the moment.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
I would
cool.
love to get involved in things like that. And then there's also my sort of role that I would like to maybe fulfill in a company would be somewhere to do with management, because like I said earlier, I think research and development, the lab work,
In it for the money.
the lab work just didn't like excite me because it was so slow paced, whereas I'd rather like be a bit higher up and be able to overlook a lot more projects and have
Actually make an impact in a short time scale.
Yeah.
Like lab work, often if you really look at research, one person dedicates their whole life to one specific thing, which is what you have to do to really make a big, meaningful discovery.
I think I would just get bored.
Yeah, as for my personality, I'm kind of fast paced. I like to get things done, see the reward, and then move on to something else that excites me. So yeah, I kind of get why you'd want to do more of a management position.
Yeah, like my internship, I was there for about 8 months, and I barely saw any development in the sensor that I was helping to develop, and that was just like, the guy that my manager was going to be working on it for 7 years of his life. He told me, and I was just like,
no, you can do it. Again, it's all personal preference, right? But if you like research and development, I think the Cambridge course really helps you. Helps you develop those skills that you need.
I think majority of people who do Cambridge courses
Go into
research because they're so clever. That's like.
Okay, yeah. I think for me, I want to sort of do engineering, then go back to medicine. That's the plan for now. If I do this year, third year, I get a Bachelor of Arts in engineering. But if I do another year, I can get a Master in engineering. And I kind of want that because who doesn't want a Master's in engineering from Cambridge? Then I'll go back to medicine, get the medicine doctor degree, and then see what I want to do with my life. There's property, there's medicine, there's MedTech, there's a lot of stuff I think that's interesting to me, but I'll take things step by step. Okay, fine, so now we sort of understand as to why we're doing engineering and what our goals are in life. Why are we here at Cambridge doing engineering though?
So
why not other universities?
One of the things is the Cambridge name, like it's like quite a big deal. Like I know that sort of Cambridge deserves the name 100% because it is an incredible course taught by incredible people, and it's an amazing learning place. Also, just the name. I think a lot of people who are recruiting, they'll see places like Cambridge and Oxford,
and they know that you're of a certain caliber.
Yes, exactly. So I think that is definitely something to think of. Like my friend is doing architecture, and there's a better course at, I think she said UCL.
UCL's amazing. I was like,
Yeah.
I was speaking to Doctor once, and he's like, "What's the best course at UCL?" I was like, "Medicine, history." What?
Yeah.
And he said, "No, it's architecture." I'm like,
But,
"What?"
yeah, and she got an offer there, but she came here because she knew that actually a lot of recruiters might not know that, and so they'd see Cambridge and still put that higher. But also for engineering specifically, I think the broad course is so good, because for someone like me, who I don't really know which area I want to specialise in, it's perfect for me. Like I couldn't really make a decision at like 17 when I was applying whether or not I want to do electrical or civil or anything, because I never studied any of them. Like you have no idea how to choose. And even if you do know, it's so good to have like a broad understanding of all the other types anyway.
So Cambridge is amongst like Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Oxford. So you are literally in one of the world's best universities.
Yeah.
And so you can expect the sort of teaching, you know, at that level.
And like loads of startups as well are all coming to Cambridge at the moment. It's like the sort of like a Silicon Valley is brewing a little bit, I think, for engineering. Like I think Google is
really. I know there's an Apple headquarters. Apple's already in Cambridge. Like they've got like a blue logo.
Google is bringing like
an AI thing or something.
Yeah, something like that. And that's all starting up here. They come because they want the Cambridge graduates. That's the only reason they come here.
Because yeah, when we say like Cambridge people are good, it's not because we have the Cambridge name behind us. I think it's because the course is so rigorous. The way they teach you to think and learn, and if you come here as well, you'll learn in that same way. That's what's advantageous, and that's what makes I think Cambridge graduates more desirable than, I don't know, someone from another university.
Yeah.
Of course, other universities are still fantastic. If you do have offers from them and you like them, go to them. But there is an advantage of studying here, and you know, it's got to be said.
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. You know, that's what we've got planned today.
Yeah.
We need to rush off to formal as well. You don't really late to that. But yeah, thank you once again so much for watching. Do go and subscribe to George's channel. You know, there'll be lots of vlogs and more vlogs than on my channel.
More informational videos as well.
Yeah, and also like collaborations as well, maybe with like Astrid, Francisca, and Paige Yallop.
I mean, I haven't talked to Paige.
Oh, fingers crossed. Yeah. So lots of collaborations coming as well. So really exciting content. I'll link it down in the description below. Do you have an Instagram maybe as well that people want to follow?
I do, Georgia X Jane.
Okay, so follow that. I'll put like a slidey thing in the video. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please do comment down below, and maybe Georgia will answer a few as well, and I'll answer a few as well as far as my knowledge goes. But yeah, once again, thank you so much.
Hope you found it interesting and useful.
And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed meeting Georgia as well. Yeah, thank you so much once again, and I'll see you soon. Take care. High five.
Did it.